Hi, friend. I want you to know you're not alone. I want you to know, I know it hurts right now, but it's not always going to be this way. I can't promise things aren't going to be hard. Things are probably going to be hard, but it's not always going to be this. Things are going to change, and you're going to get through this. I was thinking today about what person I want to make my videos for. They say that you should make videos for somebody who's yourself but 5 years younger. I don't think that necessarily needs to go by age. It could be maybe somebody who's just not as far down the path that you're on. I don't know. All I know is I've been through a lot of hurt and a lot of pain and a lot of isolation. And something that happens when I feel that way, whether it's when I have insomnia in the middle of the night or when I'm going for a walk, I bet somebody else feels this way. I bet somebody else feels this way. And they feel like they're all alone. And sometimes that comes in the form of just social isolation. Sometimes, well, for me, I'll just be personal here. I've been through a lot of health struggles, chronic health struggles. Every time that I think, I try to be positive, and I think, okay, after I pull out of this next thing, and I've repeated this pattern enough times that I don't know if I'm ever fully pulling out. There are phases, and realistically, I've been in some serious level of burnout for about 13 years, and it's gone up and down. I've pulled out and gone 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 2 steps forward, 4 steps back. Things don't always go the way that we want them to go, and it can be really frustrating, especially when we see other people doing it. When we see, for myself, I'm a mom, and I see all these other women just somehow doing it all, and every time I try to be a superwoman, I crash and burn pretty hard. But I was watching this Nate Black video today, and he was talking about something similar to this that I could relate to. Like, say you lose an arm, right? And you're always trying to figure out how to fix the arm, how to get a bionicle arm, whatever kind of thing like that. And like some way to compensate or fix it. But at what point do you just come to this point of acceptance and say, okay, so I'm missing an arm, so now what? And it's incredible. About over the past year, I've kind of gone through a journey of that myself, with understanding how my brain works and learning that there are other people out there who are the same as me in certain ways, that I never met anybody except, like, with a lot of things except with my siblings. We have a lot of things in common. There goes the air conditioner. Look, I'm forging through this. I hope you can hear me well. Anyway, it's amazing what happens when you come to a point of acceptance and you look for a way to accommodate your differences and say, okay, so I don't have an arm. What can I do to do things with just one arm? What are other ways that I can do things? What are ways I can get help and still do the thing? I've heard it, people talk about accommodations in a lot of different ways. And I don't think it's just permission to be like, well, let's just have a different standard and that kind of thing. Sometimes we need a different standard, but an accommodation is more like, okay, so you can't reach something on the shelf. An accommodation would be a stool so that you can get up and reach the shelf. And I'm going through a journey of learning, what can I not do? Where are those limits? Maybe I just can only do so long. What could I do differently and reach my goal in a different way? But I know I'm not the only person who feels different. I'm not the only one who feels that way. I think there are a lot of people right now like me who feel alone. For me personally, I couldn't drive for the majority of 3 years due to seizures. And so YouTube videos and people in online communities were the way that I could have some connection to the world primarily. And now I'm starting to drive, and I'm starting to be able to have more time with friends. I'm starting to have friends over, and it's incredible the difference in my nervous system. It's incredible what a huge change I have in my sleep. I track my sleep every night with an Apple Watch. I use the app Auto Sleep if you want to check it out. I find that works a lot better than the basic sleep tracking that it comes with. But it measures heart metrics and generally how much deep sleep and light sleep I'm getting, that kind of thing. And it's incredible. Even if I am more tired out physically, I will feel better with my metrics if I've had time just interacting and having like a true connection. Not the kind of connection where you are having to mask and kind of hold up a performance and keep your energy going, but when you really connect with somebody who feels like a kindred spirit. And I found a few people like that, and I think it's one of the most precious things in the world. And I have a friend who I've become closer with recently, and my health is bettered no matter how much energy I expended that day. If I spend time with her, and I thank her, I send her a text message the next day and I thank her, but I don't think she truly understands the impact that friendship has on my health. And I know for you right now, you're thinking, well, maybe you're thinking that's great. Maybe you don't have a friend in person right now. But like I said, I've been isolated a lot, and a lot of what kept me going was connections online too. And I would like to help be that friend to you. And maybe that seems like one way because I'm on a video and you're not. But I mean, feel free to send me a video reply. I'd love to hear in the comments or send me a message and let me know. I want to know, what do you need? What are you going through? How can I be a friend to you? Because I don't want anybody to hurt alone like I did. And not just me. I want to tell you a little bit about my sister. I don't want to go too deep. I actually have many siblings, but I have a sister who is 4 years younger than me. And she and I have gone through a lot of similar health issues and a lot of similar issues with burnout, similar issues with chronic pain and fatigue, muscle tension, and also some of the same social struggles. And then she went through something really big. Not that any of those aren't big on their own. She had a serious health issue in her brain. That made it so that she almost lost her life. And even before she went through that, she's a person. If my heart hurts for somebody, it hurts for her. And maybe that's the kind of thing they talk about, like the person who's you but 5 years younger. But I bring her up because this is something, sometimes we have a hard time being compassionate to ourselves. That's something we have to learn. And that was something easier for me to learn, loving someone like my sister first. But I don't want you to hurt like that. We all have something we're going through. It doesn't have to be a serious brain issue. Thankfully, she had a miraculous recovery. She was expected to most likely die, and if not die, be severely disabled after this surgery. And at the last minute, there was another route that they were able to take, and the surgery went much better than expected. She has a long road ahead still, but she's walking, she's talking, she's doing better than she was the couple of years before the surgery. And I just thank God every day. But I think how many of us, like, none of us know when our last day is going to be. And some of us are contemplating if we should move that day up. I've been there. And if that's you, I just want you to know you don't have to do it alone. Life doesn't have to be this painful. It can be hard to trust. It can be hard to take steps to connect with others, but it is possible. I didn't think it was possible for there to be other people who felt the same way I did. I've gone so much of my life. I'm almost 40 years old, and I've gone most of my life hearing from friends eventually. It doesn't take long. Sometimes it's the first day, and they'll be like, they'll laugh and say how random I am. Or they'll be amazed at how much detail I know about bugs or plants or whatever random diseases or whatever things that I tend to be interested in. I'm just a very curious person, and I've gotten called weird so many times. I just like to dive deep with people right away. I'm not good with small talk. I go deep all the time. Like, I'm just ready to connect and get in there with my heart. And not everybody operates that way. And some people think, wow, you're like a really special person in a good way. But a lot of times I've had people who have been really just like othered me and just distanced themselves from me, or just been outright really rude. I think the more subtle distancing can be even more hurtful over time. But yeah, I think that's just the main thing I wanted to say today. I actually have a lot of videos planned for my new channel that are much more thought out. I'm partway through the scripting process, and I actually have access to some nice cameras and lighting and sound equipment. And here I'm just recording straight into my phone using my phone camera, at the risk that this could be bad for my channel's image, but I just don't care, because I can't wait to have everything perfectly in line when I know that you're out there and you're hurting. And I don't know. I just feel it burning in my heart that there's somebody who's meant to hear this. And I don't want you to wait for me to have the perfect professional setup. And I don't, even if that makes me look bad, I just don't care. I told myself after my last video when I filmed without planning to that day, like, oh, I'll do my makeup and my hair and I'll get the lighting nice and everything. And here I'm just like, no, like, too many hearts are hurting and I can feel it. I know you're there, and I'm not gonna let perfection be the enemy of progress. Maybe you can relate. Maybe you tend to be a perfectionist and wait till things are perfect or procrastinate. And I'm just not gonna do that. I'll have prettier videos. And I actually have a lot of stuff I have planned to bring you that's gonna be things that you can do on your own to help your nervous system to ground. I'm actually going to be going with my family to Yosemite this weekend, and I'm hoping to get some footage there and just some nature footage to maybe you can't get out to Yosemite. Maybe you can't get out to a forest. Excuse me, but you can I'll share a little bit of piece of my experience with you, and also teach you some tips that you can do even if you're just on your bedroom floor like me right now, or in your backyard, or on a little patch of grass outside your apartment. Just things to do that have really helped me when I needed a lifeline and I needed something to help my nervous system regulate. And please, like I said, share in the comments. Let's get connected, and we can talk. And I want to know what you're going through. I want to encourage you. And just remember, you're not alone. It can feel like you're alone, but you're not. It's amazing how connected we can be. There are a lot of bad things about the internet, but I would like to be one who uses my little corner of the internet to have some real genuine connection and some love and some peace shared between people, and we can all be at more peace in our bodies and in our souls. And like, I want to help your health without it being overwhelming. I want to help your soul. And if you don't have any friends, or you just have a couple of friends, like, add me to the list. I'll be your friend. All right. I think that's about it for now. This is Levi, if you were wondering if you saw him in the background. He's the goodest boy and the naughtiest boy. Say bye, Levi. Bye. He doesn't understand cameras.